I'm a single 32-year-old living in Los Angeles. And I'm not even dating right now. Like, I'll be 33 in May, and I just don't care. Like, I'm not even interested, to be honest. Because I think that, like, once you're in your 30s, especially when you're, like, getting around that mid-30s, like, age range, you are just so established in your life, and you've done so much on your own without a partner that you no longer want just anyone around. You really value your peace. You value your... My dog's freaking out right now. As a toy. Yeah, you value
Pause it for a second.
Your solitude, your peace.
Do you ever notice that all these women who, like, don't need a man, they don't need a husband, they don't want a child, it all sounds like such a headache. Why do they all have a little dog? Do you ever notice that? It's like the little dog syndrome. You ever see them? The other day I came home. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to tell you all this. Do you know the little baby strollers? Y'all will know. Little baby stroller. And you know how it has like the little thing that, I don't know what they're called. Hartley used to have one. It spins around and it's for the babies to kind of get hypnotized. It's so that if they cry or anything, you're strolling them and you spin it around and they're like, hee hee hee. So I see this woman and her, I guess, I don't know, boyfriend something, with a stroller. And it looked, I'm talking a baby stroller. I'm talking a baby stroller. And I see the little thing going, boo, boo, boo. And I see her spin it. And I'm obsessed with babies. So I'm like, oh, and I go up and I look in. It was a Pomeranian. The Pomeranian was on its back. I know I've told the story about dogs and strollers before, but I never saw a little thing spinning for the dog to look and be hypnotized and look at. And I thought, everybody's gone mad. This looked like a couple that had gone mad, and either they weren't ready to have kids or something was wrong, and that something looked wrong. Why do you got a Pomeranian inside a baby stroller with a little thing like something's messed up in society? Holy mother. And that was a couple too. But a lot of these single women, you notice they get the dog. You know why? Because they do feel an instinct for something, right? And then what they do is they turn the dog into a baby. They do. They dress the dog. I know. I had a dog. I had a dog when I was in my 30s, and I was like, I don't know. My 20s. Emma. I love you. God rest her soul. But I had a dog. I was like, I don't know if I want kids. The dog had pink booties. The dog had outfits. The dog was a baby, right? I mean, I was deluding myself. That's what they do. They treat the dog like a baby, and it looks weird. And some of them take it to a level. I've seen dogs with pacifiers. I've seen dogs bottle fed well beyond the age where they need to be bottle fed. I mean, the sickness just, it blows up. But I thought it was interesting. They all have a dog. So here's the thing. Let's play just a little bit more of this. But I'm going to tell you what I want to tell you. She's 32 years old. She's still got a baby face. 32 is like, if you take care of yourself as a woman, 32, you still look young. At 32, I looked 24. Not kidding. I had like the little baby face and all that. And you're not yet realizing what's going to happen. You know, you don't know where it's headed yet, because you still have like the same face and pretty much the same body you've had your whole life. So you only know one place and you're in it. Okay. So let's just play a little bit more of this. She's 32 years old. She's saying, oh, I don't know if I need, sure. Let's play a little more.
You know who you are. You're content. Like, you have your own space, hopefully. And you have just created a life for yourself where you are very efficient on your own. So if you're going to have anyone in your world, like in your life, they have to contribute in some kind of positive way. I was talking to a guy like a year ago, and he made a comment to me about how he's like, you know, I just feel like you have everything. Like what would you need a boyfriend for? And that's the thing. I'm not sure if maybe men like want to feel like need. It's funny because men want an independent lady, but they also want to feel needed. But at this point in my 30s, like I've got it all down. Like, I have everything on my own. I also really value having that autonomy over my life. Like, I never want to have a man be able to just rip out the rug from underneath me. I've had that before, and it's terrifying. So yes, having autonomy and having my independence is really important. However, it's not like I need someone. It's I want someone. Like, I don't want to need a partner. I want to want them. And wanting them means that they are an addition to my life.
Okay, let's stop it because it could
just
just go on and on. If you're doing a video this long about how you don't need someone, you need somebody harder than anybody else, or you wouldn't be talking like this. Nobody does if you just don't need someone, you don't talk about it. You know why? Because you don't need them. You're just like walking around, you're happy, you're living your life. You're not making a video about why you don't need someone, honey. It's like, I can't. It's like no self-awareness whatsoever. So I think we can all acknowledge she's an attractive girl, and she's 32, and she looks, I don't know what kind of filters I don't know any of that, but she looks youthful to me. So this girl is talking like this at 32. I would like to hear her at 42, and I would like to hear her at 52, and I would like to hear her at 62 if she is still single, because she will not be talking like this. Because you know what's going to happen? Everyone around her is going to be paired up, and they're going to have families, and they're going to have holidays, and they're going to have children, and eventually they're going to have grandchildren, and they're going to have all of that stuff, and she's going to be sitting alone. And you know what? That dog, whatever dog it is, jingling that toy on the floor ain't going to be enough. It's not. The dog's not going to be enough. She's going to be lonely. And if she ultimately decides at 40 or 45 that now she wants to start looking for a guy, she's going to be hyper aware of the fact that she's older, and guys are going to be concerned about things. If they want kids, they're going to be like, well, she's already 40, right? What does that look like for me? That's just a reality, right? We can talk about just biology for a second. So her options are going to be less than they would be at 32, right? Vast majority of cases, and again, everybody always throws me, yeah, but I get it. I married late. I understand. But we have to talk about the norm, right? And for most women, the options will get smaller, right? Can we just acknowledge that together? So what's going to happen to a woman like this is she's going to get lonely, and she's going to look back on her life. She's going to wish she had made different decisions, and she's going to be sad, and she's going to get depressed. And I don't know hopefully she wakes up before then and something changes. But your body changes too, right? You lose your baby face. You're out at the bar, and you're not looking like a 32-year-old. Maybe you're looking like a 38-year-old. You can still be very attractive, don't get me wrong, but it's just different in terms of what you attract in a dating marketplace. It changes. I think it's interesting that she says men want an independent lady. No, they don't. I don't know who you're talking about. Men don't want an independent lady. That's just not. No guy wants a woman who's like, I'm independent. I do my. The second you start saying that to a man, you know what they think of? Girls' night out. Oh, she's always going to be talking to guy friends on the phone. Oh, she's going to want her own separate life, doing God knows, she's going to vacation and be doing God knows what when I'm not there. That means that you don't want to have to account to him for what you're doing. You're looking to do something probably that you shouldn't be doing, or that you would be doing single, but you shouldn't be doing in a relationship. That's all they hear. That whole like, oh, I'm an independent woman. They're like, next. Bye. See you later. That's what I'd be saying if I were a guy. I'm not kidding. Because we all know you got to know the code words. And then this whole thing of I don't need someone, right? She talks about the guy who met her and was like, oh, what would you need in a guy? What would you listen, honey, if you're doing everything right again, you wouldn't be making this video. You wouldn't be making this video. Something's wrong, something's missing, because you're feeling the need to justify to the whole world that you're happy and content and you don't need anything. So say, why don't you just tell us what you do need? Because it's pretty obvious it's something, right? And the dog on the floor jingling the toy is the best part. So my hope is that these women wake up before it's too late. That's my hope. If you like the short clip and want to watch the full episode, click here. And if you want to connect with me one-on-one on Connect, you're going to click right here. Let's get to talking.